Brandon, who, okay,
Okay.
yeah, it's Wraith with Metal Truthers. I'm here with Brandon, who is actually hosting the show tonight.
Hey, everybody.
Um, kudos to you, Brandon, for figuring this out.
Yeah, it took me a couple of tries because I'm really just not too much on the tech side of everything, to be honest. But, I got it figured out. We're live streaming now, so things are going pretty good.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. It's been a long time. Fucking,
It has been a long time.
Brandon's pretty much gonna be throwing y'all the topics today, and I'll give y'all some of my input and thoughts on it. But for the most part, he's gonna be the one coming up with the topics and the news to go over because I really haven't had time to focus on much of shit. I've been being a 24/7 daddy, so, and that requires a lot of me not being able to watch any kind of YouTube or read much. So,
Yeah, but I mean, shit happens though. I mean, we do have lives other than Metal Truthers, unfortunately, but we do.
I'm
Um,
paid for this. I could like make an 8 hour day of it because like I could make their mom take them during the day and do all my research, and we could do our episodes earlier in the day, but you know, again, I'd have to be willing making some kind of money for it to be beneficial for me because I kind of enjoy spending time with my kids. So
yeah, of course. I mean, we all do.
if I take away from them right now, I need to be making money. So
Yeah,
uh, that's the way I'm looking at it.
yeah, but I mean, it is what it is.
But yeah, so what kind of news do you have for me, brother? It's
Um,
been like I said, it's been a while. I've been out of the loop, so
First things first, let's this Alabama Senate race. The ones of you that follow the channel, you all know I live in Alabama, so I've seen firsthand the corruption and the voter fraud that's going on with this whole thing. Even though they've said that there was no voter fraud, the truth is they have, like, during the elections, Doug Jones and Roy Moore were both running. Um, they were bussing people in from different states to get votes for Doug Jones. And I have no doubt between that and our current governor here in Alabama, Kay Ivey, she passed a last minute law that allowed um, convicted felons and current prisoners to actually vote in the election. And she actually went around to a bunch of the state prisons and passed out ballots for the prisoners to vote.
well, that's not surprising.
I mean,
I mean,
we've seen a ton.
that just goes to show more and more that voting has never counted. I mean, if they want somebody in office, that person gets in office, even if they have to go to unconstitutional and illegal means to get it done.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just, it pisses me off because they're pretty much stamping out the small man, the little man. They're not really giving us a chance to actually speak our part.
Well, I mean, when have they ever given a fuck about the little man, dude? I mean, seriously, think about that statement. Like, when the fuck has the government ever cared about us, even on a state level? How many states actually take care of their citizens? How many states don't have homeless citizens?
Good point. Very good point.
You name me one state where the entire state actually takes care of its citizens, and I'll tell you that's a state that we all need to move to somehow.
But no, you know, I think it's funny that all these, just like we saw in the election for Donald Trump, all these women just randomly come from the woodworks, screaming that he raped them, 30, 40 years ago. And then Roy Moore actually lost the election, and now they are absolutely nowhere to be heard from.
Well, that kind of shit happens a lot right now because it seems like the popular thing to do is hate straight white men and scream rape at the top of your lungs as much as possible.
Pretty much. I mean, that's literally what everybody's doing. It's there was a meme I saw on Facebook the other day. It showed it was a picture of two women talking, and at the top of it it said so sorry that man touched you inappropriately, and at the bottom it said let's wait 40 years and come out publicly about it when he runs for office against a Democrat.
Well, the main thing I have an issue with, man, I'm not even gonna lie on it, dude, is man, Trump's letting shit get out of hand. He's been letting it get out of hand. That's another reason I say he's been part of the plan. Like, and nothing has changed. 2017 has been the worst goddamn year ever so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I really don't have high hopes for 2018. I really see things just getting worse from here on out. Like, complete fucking shit. No matter which way I look at it, like the only positive thing that came out of 2017 for me was Bruce's birth. Other than that, I could give a fuck less about this year. 2018 is going to be even worse. Like, at this point, like, my life's so topsy-turvy. I don't know if I'm going to start the new year out with a relationship or if that's going to all crumble to the ground. I don't, who the fuck knows what's going to happen before 2017 has a chance to wind out. Like, I'm fucking here, dude. I'm fucking beyond done with America at this point. Like, we've been running this channel and we get our comments and we do appreciate the people that come on there that aren't just trolling, that try to take what we say and get something out of it. Man, how many people are waking up? Just as many people have gone back to sleep because, World War III didn't pop off, so they don't give a fuck anymore.
Pretty much. It's like everybody starts joining the movement and standing up and everything when they think we're on the brink of a nuclear war. And then the media goes silent on fucking North Korea and everybody's just like, oh, well, that's over. Let's, TV back on and some bullshit.
And then you got people turning a blind eye to the fact that Chicago requested UN assistance for their gun that they don't actually have.
Yeah.
And then there's no problem with guns in a Democrat-owned state, and yet they're requesting EU assistance for this non-existent problem with guns.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Trump even offered to send them the National Guard to help with some of their violence, and they turned it down just because it was an offer from Trump. That's the part of that you're not really hearing because nobody's covering it. Trump offered assistance with it. He offered to mobilize the National Guard himself and send them in to help with a lot of the problem, and Chicago's mayor just, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And then he went.
Well, to an extent, though, I'm glad that Trump didn't send the National Guard in, because if Trump sends in the National Guard, that's a new precedent for America. That means that from now on, the president has the right to roll out our armed forces against any city that is having what they consider a problem. You feel me?
Yeah, I do. I understand where you're coming from.
If UN forces come over here, which are foreign troops, then the militias have a right to stand up for themselves. The government, absolutely. And in our eyes, we could say we felt like they were invading our sovereign soil. Now, if The National Guard, on the other hand, is rolled out, and it is martial law declared by the president himself, and it is our domestic troops. The ground gets rocky when it comes to whether or not you have a legal right to fight back.
Absolutely. That's the scary part of this whole situation.
I
Who's
personally
to
do
say
not
that?
want our soldiers involved with anything that has to do with American soil unless there's a natural disaster.
Oh yeah, of course, not at all.
Shy of that, I don't mind foreign forces having to come into our soil, because if they step out of line and step over their boundaries and start trying to cross out of Chicago into other what you would call trouble cities, if they start doing a move like that, well, then the militias of this country have a legal and constitutional right to take up arms and stand against these foreign troops on our soil. Doesn't matter if we consider them allies as far as the government's concerned, because at that point, our government would be traitor, and the Constitution allows us legally to overthrow a corrupt government. Let them bring foreign troops on our soil. Let them do it. It's a bad chess move.
It is.
But maybe that's what Trump's hoping for. Maybe he's hoping the elites will actually, maybe he's pushing him, maybe he is, maybe he knows this. And that's the chess move he's playing. He wants them to bring their people here so that we can fuck them off ourselves and show them once and for all America's not a pushover country.
See, that would actually be a very bloody, very, very violent move on Trump. But at the same time, that would actually be one of the best things that could happen.
I mean, I'm being an optimist on it. Don't think that I'm saying that I think that Trump's on our side or anything. I'm saying this could be, if you're looking at it strategically from a chess angle right now, we're playing a game of chess. The ultimate checkmate for the globalists would be to allow them to trick them basically and be like, okay, I'm going to let you bring your UN troops onto our soil. When they start overstepping their boundaries because they think Trump's on their side and he's just going along with their plan, all of a sudden that's when he says, all right, there's foreign troops on the soil, America's patriots, it's your choice. Do you think we should have and become a sovereign nation again, or should we bow to the EU? And if I know anything about most Americans that give a fuck about what America is, I don't care if they're from Mexico, China, whatever. If you live in America and you like the freedoms we have here, you're going to pick up a gun and go against whoever the fuck comes on. It doesn't matter if they're French. Doesn't matter if they're Canadian. Doesn't matter who they are. If they consider themselves our allies, but they start trying to take our country, then it's time to fight. End of story. Now, that's the only move that Trump can make that I would be okay with. Everything else I find so far he's done has been complete bullshit, just like I thought it was going to be. So far, he hasn't done a fucking thing he said he was going to do, and Hillary Clinton is not in prison. So as far as I give a fuck, you should all see through the lies by now. I mean, he's not that much better of a speaker than Obama was. The only thing we're missing is a stutter. I mean, hate me if you want. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Hillary supporter. I'm not a Bernie supporter. I don't think any of these people were worth a fuck. Honestly, I think this whole election was a fraud. I really think this whole election was a fraud set up by those motherfuckers behind the wheels. And this was the final step before they brought the EU onto our soil. And that's why I'm saying it's time for the Patriots to wake the fuck up. We've also got pedophiles being recognized as normal people now. And I, for one, do not sit well with that idea. Like, there's so much shit going on. I'm all for people being whoever the fuck and whatever the fuck they want to be. But there's one thing I do have. I draw the line when you start fucking with kids. Let kids be kids. When they're fucking, you can even say let them draw the line at 16. But I still say you're little like emotionally unprepared for the world that young. But still, like, whatever. Whenever they're at an age where they can make their own decisions and they truly know that there are consequences for every action you make, then fuck it. Let kids start doing what they want then and choosing if they want to be boys or girls and all this bullshit. But like, man, it's crossing a line that I can't support. Like all of my friends, like there's even people in, you know, the people I call my family now that I'm starting to get sick of seeing their posts because it's always women or this or it's gay oppression and blah blah blah. Just supporting all these movements, and they realize that these movements are just shams right now. Nothing is what it seems. It's all being taken over and used to satisfy certain agendas. And I don't support those agendas. I do not like those agendas. I think there's nothing good that will come of those agendas. I'm not
Well,
against
I
gay
mean,
rights,
you
but
know,
I am against gays being able to tell straight people how they can live their lives as long as it makes gay people allowed to be free. I don't care what you do, but I don't want you walking down the street in a parade with dildos and cocks waving about where little kids can see that shit because we're already having an issue with kids as young as like 4 and 5, 6 and 7 looking at porn on cell phones because it's fucking everywhere. You know, I've seen it with my two eyes at this point. Like somehow my kids have like there's people around that have introduced them to porn, and it's kind of pissed me off because all of them are kids, so I can kick anybody's fucking teeth out of their mouths. But at the same time, I have to sit back and realize that this is the reality of the generation my kids are growing up with.
right.
I mean, as much as I love the technology, dude, I mean, technology is how we run our show. I can't say I fucking hate technology because then I'm a hypocrite. But at the same time, like, I see the damage it's doing. Hell, I'm a victim of the damage it's doing, you know?
As am I. I mean, we we're both very avid Facebook users, YouTube users. We both have smartphones.
Actually, I mainly stick on YouTube and like my South Park cell phone app now and like the Pokemon ROMs I have. Like, I really don't get on Facebook much anymore, dude. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't post that often anymore. I don't really. That's one reason I made some of the decisions I made over the past couple of weeks because I just don't care about Facebook anymore. I'm tired of like most of reasons why I hate society. All I have to do is look on Facebook.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
pressing place to be. Like, I literally, dude, I spend maybe 20 minutes on Facebook on average. You'll see me log on just long enough, scroll through, see if anything important's on the feed, and like you'll always see me active on my messenger because that's the only way I can talk to people. So if I'm around Wi-Fi, I keep my messenger open. But like, other than that, dude, no, I'm not on Facebook anymore. I fucking don't care about Facebook or anybody on Facebook for that matter. Um, if you're one of my friends, then you can fucking message me on Messenger. I don't, like I don't really give a fuck if you're like a post I make or like a picture I post up. Like, fuck you. If you want to talk to me, then talk to me. If you don't want to talk to me, then I have no use for you in my life. Like, I'm really Facebook and all this bullshit. Like, reach across, man. You like man of awakening because like with all the shit I've been dealing with, dude, and a very dark side of me woke up and really I'm kind of disconnected from the world right now, dude. That's why I'm not looking at the news. That's why I haven't like messaged you going, "Hey, here's something great for the channel tonight," because like in all reality, dude, like I've gone to a very dark place in my head. Like it's really hard for me to empathize with anything going on anywhere because I sit here and I see this shit on Facebook and women complaining about they're not being treated fairly and all this shit. And I'm like, in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, Africa, and certain places in Central Asia and China feel about their rights as women when they hear you complain about the fact that you can't walk around saying how guys can take their shirt off.
Right.
Women are there with like a ability to vote for who becomes the leader of the country and makes the laws that affect their lives. I mean, I just wonder if their women ever consider that to be a good thing, or if they consider themselves to be free with the lives they have. See, here's the thing that I have a problem with, not on Facebook anymore, because Americans are very obnoxious people. I'm starting to understand why the world hates us, because we are arrogant, we're self-centered, and what we consider issues are like the least of our fucking problems. The only real problem we have is our enslavement by the banks and the fact that our modern progressive society has got us so fucking stupid. Half of us won't know how to use a pen in the next 15 goddamn years. While at the same time, people with problems, like people who have to make dirt that feeds their family every night, and then they cook their food with rolled up dehydrated balls of shit. I kind of wonder if they might be something a little bit, more to focus on than whether or not you're going to get that iPhone 10. I mean, I don't know, man. I've just had a different mindset lately. My mindset has really made me hate the world around me. Like, I don't like anybody anymore. Everybody I know is two-faced. They're willing to stab you in the back at the drop of a dime. They'll turn traitor on you as long as somebody else that they know says, "Oh, I don't like that person." I mean, it's just some people. People nowadays have no morals, man. There is no fucking honor. There's nothing. Nobody cares about any fucking thing anymore. Even I don't care anymore. Like, goddamn, dude.
I'm basically at the
I want to
same
keep running
point.
the channel, but like, the truth is, like, I'm starting to wonder what the fuck we're even fighting for. It's like people like Kev Baker, and I don't even really see them talk to the people anymore. They'll talk to their friends and their show friends, but like, when do you see people? How do you get in touch with Alex Jones? Can you talk to him other than calling in on his goddamn show? I mean, no, you can't get in touch with these fucking people.
No.
They don't care about us. And that's the thing that's bothering me too. These people consider themselves freedom fighters and they're for truth and justice. If you scroll
That
through your
ties into
Facebook
the.
and you see someone on there that you, as a fan of your show or whatever, obviously they've added you on Facebook. These people scroll through their feeds every now and then. And like, you're going to tell me you see somebody depressed and you don't want to at least throw a kind word out there to like give them some encouragement, being that you're someone that they might look up to because you reach millions of people, whereas they may be like us who only reaches 32 people, 38 people, or they may be somebody that doesn't even have a YouTube channel that reaches maybe a circle of 6 people because they're an introvert that never leaves their house. I mean, still, you don't think it would be like decent of you to give them a word of encouragement in life? Fuck no, it's too much for these people because it doesn't generate them money to be kind towards someone that, you know, actually needs it. Like, they only help out their good friends and, you know, the people on their shows and their networks, and it's sickening, dude.
It is disgusting. We have shit like fucking Antifa and fucking Black Lives Matter movement and all that shit. They're still going strong and they fight under the name of anti-fascism, but at the same time, these are the same people that's pushing for the suppression of freedom of speech, the suppression of freedom of religion, the anti-Second Amendment and all this, they're fighting fascism with textbook fascism.
Well, I'm not going to get on the Antifa, dude, because I've already stated my opinion on them, and I'm not going over that whole spiel again. Fuck them in their ass, and anyone that supports them can go fuck themselves in their asses. Like, I really don't give a shit. You got a problem with it, come find me.
From what I've seen, most
Like,
of them
straight
are
up,
like
I'll
that.
knock some sense into you. Well, fucking come find me, bitch. I will leave you picking up your intestines off the ground and wondering why the fuck you came and found me. Like, I will fucking straighten you out real quick, and you will quickly find out if God exists. I promise you. Deal with anybody, dude, I'm telling you. I do not give a fuck anymore. I don't care if it lands me in prison anymore. I'm fucking tired of the world and everybody in it. Like, fucking come at me with hostility. I will drop you. You're a threat to my life. It's already been put out there. It's a warning. Don't fuck with me. I am really on edge. Straight up. I don't give a fuck. You can be anti-fascist. You can consider yourself whatever the fuck you want. You keep your bullshit to yourself. I don't want any part of it. You bring it to my doorstep and I'll put your liberal ass in a hole. Like, fuck you. I'm tired of it, dude. I really am. I've had motherfuckers trying to make me feel guilty for being white that come around. Like, I have a homeboy who's really fucking cool, but he has a friend that's totally black power. Like, the white people and their rules. And, motherfucker, I'm just looking at him like, I resemble that remark. But, like, motherfucker, you don't even get it. There is no white power structure. If there was, I would have a lot more than I have right now. I wouldn't have to fucking try and figure out what my kids are going to eat tomorrow. You got me all kinds of fucked up with this white power bullshit.
And it's basically just a perpetuated myth. But what I don't understand is why they're trying so hard to push this. I mean, what does anybody...
Because they're trying to eliminate white people because Europe is still a majority white. I mean,
Well,
America is becoming less and less white people every day, and you know what? I'm totally cool. I don't give a fuck what race you are. I don't really even look at race anymore, but I am noticing that, well, the statistics don't lie. Within the next 100 years, white people may go extinct because they're being trained to hate themselves. They're being trained to breed themselves out, and like, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have to be ashamed of being a skin color, like, because I can go back, I can show these, like, all these black power activists, like, I can show them videos right now from Africa, from their supposed people that, like, oh, well, if America doesn't want to get with the program, we're going back to Africa. I don't think you would survive a day in Africa. I mean, not only is wildlife there designed to kill you, but the people there have to live a very dog-eat-dog lifestyle, and it's a very vicious place, and people there do commit all kinds of atrocities. Pedophilia is just a thing there. It exists because it can. You people don't know what the fuck you're asking for. You don't know what you want, and it pisses me off that you even think that you do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
these people have no fucking clue what they're asking for in life. They don't understand that right now what they've got, as long as we could eliminate this fucking minimum wage bullshit, advertised crap, where CEOs get to make billions of dollars and sit on their ass while paying the workers that do all the work to make the shit and to build the houses and to keep everything running, can barely feed their families. Once we get that kind of shit stopped, I really think that this world could be a lot better of a place, and we would have so much surplus in food and money instead of throwing it in the trash like a bunch of wasteful dicks. I really think we could actually solve a lot of the world's problems, and there wouldn't be so much chaos, but God forbid that we think about anybody other than ourselves. You feel me?
Absolutely.
America's problem. And we try to blame it on our politicians. And yes, it's their fault. And we try to blame it on corporations and all this, the greed that they've instilled in us. And that, yes, and to an extent, it's their fault. Yes, it is other people's fault, but it's also our fault for just giving into it so easily and losing the whole picture, man. Like, and see, some people would say, oh, well, that sounds pretty much like a hippie to me. Like, no, because I have no problem killing anything that stands in my path to get my goals accomplished. You see, like, hippies believe that violence or anything. On the other hand, say that there's a time and a place to be peaceful and a time and a place for violence. And we're coming up, I think 2018 is going to be the most violent year we've seen in probably at least 1,000 years. I'm not even gonna lie to you, dude. I see a lot of bloodshed coming this next year because it's in the winds, dude. It's in the. I can feel it. There's an energy out there. It's got me on edge. There are friends of mine that are feeling the same thing. Like, man, war is coming. I don't know what kind. I don't know when. I don't know where. Violence on a different scale is on its way, though, and I think it's going to kick off in 2018, to be honest with you. I think everybody is going to reach their point in 2018 where we just can't
I've
call it
thought about it.
intuition, call it, that sixth sense.
Right.
But
I mean, I've I've thought about it, and right now I think we're basically in the calm before the storm.
nope, the calm before the storm was 2015 and 16, my friend. The storm's here. This is like the wind, 2017, and the chaotic energies that have been everywhere. That was the wind that hits right before the hurricane. I think we're already in the storm, man. I think it's hit. I think it started at in 2017. I think the electoral process was the beginning blows. You know what I mean? And now we're down for 2018. Then, like, if the weather patterns have been anything to, we best be prepared. I mean, if y'all thought 2017 was terrifying, just wait. It hasn't even begun yet. And I'm not trying to be a doom and gloom guy. I'm just being for real. Like, call it my gut instincts that have never proven me wrong before. He'll fucking tell you right now. I've literally everything that's happened to me in my recently, point what it was that was going wrong, and pretty much step by step, I've been able to tell him exactly how everything was going to happen. And so far, I have not been off, not one fucking time. Call it a curse. I mean, am I bullshitting them, Brandon, or if like fucking everything I've said was gonna happen has popped off, especially when it comes to my own life. So when I tell y'all that 2018 is going to be an year, it's the hurricane year. Y'all just need to get ready. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Brandon will tell you I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't know. Like,
Yeah,
next year's not going to be a good year.
you have a pretty good record of predicting shit on
Unless,
this show so far.
I'm not even talking about the show, dude. Like, just in when I say things like with heavy implications, I've never been wrong. I can just,
Yeah,
this year's not going to be good.
that's
It's
what I'm
not.
saying. You've predicted quite a bit of shit and put it on here that has actually happened.
It's all, dude. It's the ability to analyze everything from a strategic standpoint. I can't look at life like everyone else. Everyone else just, they play the game and they feel like it doesn't actually have implications or something. They don't realize that this is a game and you're playing a game and you have to know how to play the game and read the cards that are in front of you. And too many people are losing sight of the cards, man. They don't watch the dealer while he's shuffling, and they're not analyzing things properly. There's tons of YouTube videos out there that explain so much, but those are all different pieces of a puzzle. One video and think you understand what you call the Illuminati. You
Well,
can't
yeah, of course.
watch 2 videos and think you understand the corruption of the government. Like, you have to analyze every bit of data you get. You have to separate the truth from the lies. And once you've separated what you can actually focus your mental energy into looking into, and it'll call to you. See, that's the thing. You don't have to look for the truth, it'll find you. Want to accept the reality of the world will find you. No matter how hard you try to hide from reality, it will kick you in the ass one way or another.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
used to be a dumb sheep. I used to think working in McDonald's and, working for people and paying all these taxes and I used to think all this shit was so good and that it was just the American way. And then I started looking and I realized that nothing that's happened is part of the American way. I think our forefathers would spit on us if they saw what had done with their country and country we have become. We have become what England used to be,
Oh yeah, I could not agree
what our
more.
fathers tried to run from. I mean, and if you want to get technical about it, dude, you're repeating a cycle that has led to the downfall of every goddamn powerful nation that ever existed, following the same footsteps of Rome right now, like almost to a T. I won't be surprised if the senators stab Trump in the back with 100 knives.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming.
No, I mean, literally. I mean, I'm surprised if we don't have a Julius Caesar moment. Like I'm telling you, we are practically living the fall of Rome in this country. Ridiculous. Right at the end of Rome, everything that you could imagine was going on. There were practically no laws amongst the people anymore. Like, I mean, as far as what we would call murder was still considered bad, but like the rape sometimes was considered bad. It all just depended. I mean, in the fall of Rome, and it's happening, but no one's ever read the goddamn books. They don't even know what happened to the civilization of Rome. It didn't just collapse because a bunch of armies came and overthrew the civilization and took it over. It fell because the people weren't standing together anymore. It fell because there was no Roman society to stand up against the invading pagan armies.
Right.
I mean, united we stand, divided we fall. There's a reason that saying's been around forever and a day. But that's the reality right now, in a way. Like, the truth is, America's been crushed from the inside out. It's always meant to be that way. It's just, we happen to live in the generation where it finally all came to a head. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Like, I think we've reached the final stages of a collapse that we've been waiting on for a long time now, and I've been telling people about it, and it's not just It's not financial collapse and necessarily with financial collapse when because crazy, man. There's too many people out protesting, and there's more protests planned, and there's more violence planned. Eventually, this is going to affect our economy, whether we want to believe it or not. See, right now they're toying with us. We don't actually know what's going on with the money, because how many of y'all actually know how to fucking look at the books and understand what's going on? And then how much of that would actually be accessible to the public? You know? You think the banks are really going to let you see what's really going on behind the scenes when you're a nobody?
Hell no, they're not.
They allow us to see what they want us to see. They allow us to believe what they want us to believe.
Right.
Conspiracy theories are probably put out there by the fucking government, to be honest, because why not? They control everything. You think they would really allow something out there if they thought the truth that was going to unravel their plan was going to be out there for
No.
everyone to see it?
Why do you think our channel's been knocked off air so many times? You know, we talk about shit that they really don't want us talking about, so they knock our shit off the air.
Either knock our shit off the air or we just never get shared, it seems like. I mean, shit, we've been doing this almost 4 or 5 years and we've got 38 subscribers. I mean, fucking A, dude. Either we're not doing something right or nobody's seeing our channel. And again, I bet you half the people that watch our channel are never sharing it. Do we even have anybody watching right now? Probably not. I mean,
Right now, no, we don't have anybody watching right now.
nobody.
But I mean, it's late at night. It's almost midnight. A lot of people are gearing up for the holidays.
A lot of people are gay. No, I was telling my kid's mom earlier today, like, I really don't give a fuck about the holidays this year. Like, to me, Christmas does not feel like Christmas. Like, I just don't feel it this year. I'm anti-holiday. I'm motherfucking the Grinch this year, dude. But you know, man, what else do you want to talk about as far as news-wise? I mean, what else has been going on other than that lame-ass race in Alabama that was obviously rigged from the get-go? I mean, anything going on?
So hold on just a second. Okay, sorry about the background noise. I had something I had to take care of real quick. No, so what are your thoughts on the government basically admitting about the whole UFO thing? The whole UFO thing.
I don't know, what the fuck did they admit to?
Like the Pentagon finally came out and said that they were real. You know, they pretty much came out and said that all the UFO conspiracy theorists were right.
I'd have to look up something on that and actually read into it and see how many valid sources that's actually coming from. Like, I don't know. I can't really give you my thoughts on that till I look more into it because I mean, I know apparently Trump is like making NASA go back to the moon on their way to Mars. Like he's making them send people back to the moon. He's like, if y'all did it once, y'all can do it again. You guys get all the fucking money from us. So either people are going back to the moon and then they're going to Mars, or y'all are done. It's basically they want to eliminate their need to use Russia for the manned space launches, which apparently Russia's been the only one that's figured that shit out, which confuses me, but okay.
You don't fuck with Russia.
Wonder if America and Russia could just merge into one country and call it Marussia. America. Romerica.
I say we just call it Russica. That sounds better to me.
Like I said, I'll look into that. In our next episode, I'll give you all more information on that. Like I said, I have to look it up. I have to listen to people actually talk about it, read some stuff on it. I would think that would be every fucking where if they like legitimately came out and said UFOs are right, all the conspiracies about UFOs are right. Like fucking, I totally think I would like that would be blowing up everywhere, and I haven't really heard anything. I mean, I've heard like one or two little mentions here and there, but like not necessarily enough for me to like warrant investigation.
Well, when this first came out, the media was too worried about Trump taking a drink of water using two hands.
Wait, what?
Yeah, have you not heard about that?
No.
On the fucking mainstream media, you know, Fox News, CNN, all the big dogs of the media world.
Yeah.
During Trump's national security speech, he picked up a glass of water using both hands and took a drink. And that has been like top news, front page headlines for pretty much since it happened.
Why?
Comparing him to a little kid.
Hmm.
And I
Because
mean,
he wanted to use two hands?
yeah,
And what does this have to do with the government telling us about UFOs?
it doesn't. But I mean, that's
Oh,
been that's been the big story. You know, like I
but
said,
how is that more?
that's been fucking national headlines since it happened.
I mean, I would lie again, but I don't think anyone would have a reasonable answer for why that fucking matters. I drink my glass sometimes with two hands. If it feels fucking heavy, I drink. Fuck you. You don't know how heavy that glass was. It could have been
Exactly.
like a fucking crystal fucking matrix glass or something. It could have been like the fucking Holy Grail or something. You don't know what the fuck that was.
You know,
It could
maybe
have had
Trump
his
was
dick in the bottom of the
a human
glass.
being and he didn't want to risk dropping his glass of water on the microphones that were plugged up and, you know, frying everything.
Although that would have been fucking hilarious because we never would hear the end of that. Oh, Trump can't even give a speech without frying shit.
We're not hearing the end of him picking the glass up with two hands now. I mean,
Yeah.
I really
I mean,
just do not understand what the significance of it is. Okay, he drank a glass of water using both hands. So fucking what?
I guess you can't please everyone, man.
I mean, I don't understand.
I I'm not even gonna try and understand, dude. I mean, what's the point in understanding that kind of logic? Like, if that's the kind of stuff that upsets people nowadays, then fuck it.
Yeah, I
Let
mean,
them do.
I just what I want to know is how the fuck this makes national headlines.
boredom. America's bored.
Even so,
Does that make sense?
I mean, I understand they're bored, but
There's literally nothing going on right now. So, I mean, you've got to keep the people distracted somehow, I guess. And this is the way to do it. We are easily distractible. I'm gonna fuck around and start drinking things with three hands. I'm always walk around with the homie and have them help me hold it.
I'm gonna start drinking shit with my dick.
I would do that, but I'll probably get arrested at some point.
No, I'm going to insert a urethra and just start pouring, or I'm going to insert a catheter and just start pouring Dr. Pepper down my urethra.
I'm not sure that's how it works, sir.
Well, it's worth a try, damn it.
I don't even drink Dr. Pepper anymore, dude. I drink Pepsi now.
Yeah. I drink whatever I grab out of the cooler at the grocery store.
Which is probably always a Dr. Pepper.
Not necessarily. I've actually swayed more towards Diet Coke here recently.
Oh, you're gay. No, dude, don't drink that NutraSweet crap. Fucking die faster. Don't drink Diet Coke. If anything, swap to like Pepsi or root beer or something. Don't fucking go to Diet Coke, for the love of God.
Hey, I will give some dibs to Diet Pepsi. They have actually stopped using aspartame.
Fuck that. I'm still not gonna drink anything. That's like drinking decaffeinated coffee. Who does that? I mean, I've literally, if I meet people who they're like, I like decaffeinated coffee, I start to view them like they're monsters or something. Like they just shouldn't exist in my realm.
I will completely agree with that. If you drink decaffeinated coffee, you have some serious issues.
Like the FBI needs to set up a task force on you, or like you're gonna fucking go nuts one day. Like just pop off and start shooting up a preschool or something. I can't trust you, non motherfuckers.
Well, that's incredibly fucked up.
Fuck, so are people who drink decaffeinated coffee. I mean, shit, it's unnatural.
Very.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, coffee is meant to have caffeine in it. That's how nature intended it.
Yeah,
That's why nature put caffeine in coffee. That's why it exists. To be caffeine. Like, there's no way around it. That's why it's there. So to take the nature out of it, i.e., decaf, get out of my face, you fucking cyborg.
Oh yeah,
You
while I'm
ungodly
thinking about it,
manifestation.
what do you think of this whole tax plan that got passed?
I don't even know about any tax plan that got passed. What happened with the tax plan that got passed?
Um,
Do I have to pay money now to somebody that I don't want to pay money to?
no, actually, if you are working a actual tax job and you're actually Trump pretty much lowered our taxes by 20%.
Well, that's good news for everybody. God damn it.
Yeah, I know I'm not complaining at all.
I'm not happy. I can't work right now. I'm just fucking stuck.
Well, yeah, that I will say that sucks.
Motherfucking women.
I've been in that situation not too long ago.
Women, like women bitch about being like stuck at home and shit, and I kind of get it, but at the same time, like, y'all, like, fuck. At least you get to spend time with the kids. I mean, that's the benefit to it, but I also like to provide for my family. Like, I feel less of a person not being able to work. But, like, for the people that are given the option, like, fuck, why would you even turn it down? Why not like this? It's a great option for your life. You know?
Right.
I mean, there's no reason to be upset when somebody offers that to you, unless you're the kind of person like me that wants to work constantly. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy being able to provide and buy shit for my family, but like at the same time, if I knew that I had someone that was with me that could afford to take care of everything that I can, then I don't know if I'd even have a problem with being a stay-at-home dad at all. You know?
Right.
Like, motherfucking. I mean, it is what it is, dude. I'm on a different level now. Like, I'm not playing the same as everybody else anymore. I got tired of that game. And I feel like the more we focus on jobs that don't get us anywhere, now that's literally, they've got us focused on that. We can't even focus on anything outside of that. Our families are suffering. Our kids are starting to, like, rely more on TV than they did before. You know?
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
The media is playing a huge part in shaping our future generations. Hell, our current generations.
I was gonna say the future's already fucked at this point.
Pretty much.
I mean, these kids are being programmed to hate themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because of what they're go to sleep inside. It's way past your time. Why are you like?
You know, between the middle schools, high schools, and
Well, then he's gonna lay down with
between the middle schools,
Go
the
lay
high
down.
schools, and the ones that go to college, kids are being programmed to pretty much hate everything they are, especially if they're white.
Hey, give me 2 seconds, man. I'll be right back.
All right.
What are you doing away?
Sorry for the awkward silence, everybody. Apparently Wraith had to go do some shit, but no. Basically, what we're getting at is the up and coming generations are literally being programmed um, by the media, the schools, the colleges. You know, for the ones that go to college, they're being programmed to hate everything that they are. And they're being, you know, especially white kids are being programmed to believe that they're inherently evil and inherently racist when it's not true. which I mean we know
Oh
that.
yeah, I
I know
mean,
that. You know that.
I see straight like fucking hate yourself videos out on
Yeah, all the time.
like YouTube. And that the thing is, these people are monetized, and they're basically telling white children and white parents and shit to kill themselves and their kids, basically, and like,
Absolutely.
how to make money saying that kind of shit. That's how that's right.
And it's absolutely disgusting.
And the thing is when you say something about it, you're automatically some sort of racist that hates anybody of a minority class, which, fuck, I'd like to know what the definition of minority is at this point. Because, like, I'm totally confused. You know?
I am too.
I mean, do you even know the definition anymore, or they just completely changed it to where what was a minority no longer exists?
Yeah, I mean, everything that we knew and were raised to believe in has pretty much been changed and bastardized so much that, you know, nothing is what it originally was anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I
absolutely,
totally feel it, to be honest with you.
absolutely nothing is what it was. And it's sad.
I mean, and I don't know how we got to this point, you know?
It's just been a slow process.
I mean, when did it get to a point where, like, we have to teach our children to be ashamed to be kids and not, like, have an imagination? Let Disney provide that imagination for you. You know? And somehow this became a social norm, too. Like, I'm not just saying, like, you know, certain things, like, this stuff is practically considered law with some parents.
Oh, I know.
God forbid, God forbid you tell somebody you don't like Disney nowadays. That you're of the
It's
opinion that it might be bad for children.
it's just honestly, it started, you know, years and years ago, but it really took a threshold when Obama came out with his Common Core bullshit. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's when he that's when it really came to a head.
And so you came and just blamed Common Core.
Well, no, you can't. But basically, what I'm saying about the Common
Really, it's on our parents.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it basically started with the
Because it was
generation that
around the
was
late 80s. It basically started late 80s, early 90s when parents just started letting TV and things like that really take over and game systems take over raising the kids and keeping them occupied.
pretty much.
by 2000s, it was kind of rare to see kids just hanging out on the corners or in the parks anymore.
And in all reality, when you just think about it, it's depressing to see how the elites have taken over and just, pretty much run rampant,
Mm-hmm.
brainwashing our basically brainwashing our current generations.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna kill it off for me on here at this point because I got to get in there with my kids. I still have to get up and early as hell because I'm getting my little Bruce at like 8 something in the morning. So,
All right, brother. Well, I'd say it's been a pretty good comeback
um,
episode. Um, I do plan on doing another one tomorrow at some point. If you're up for it.
oh yeah,
Um,
um,
all right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about when we end it.
alrighty, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Of course, Sunday and Monday there will be no episodes, being that that's Christmas Eve and Christmas. So, y'all
Um,
safe holidays. Enjoy your time with your family and friends, whatnot, and be looking forward to hearing from us shortly after that. And we may do an episode going into the new year.
absolutely. It's
Well,
been a
keep it
good one,
real, keep
guys.
it metal.